Taste the Mediterranean through March 19th at Whole Foods Market. Save on animal welfare certified bone and beef short ribs, sustainable wild-caught sockeye salmon, and more. Find sales on Parmigiano Reggiano, charcuterie and ground lamb. Grab an olive boule bread from the bakery. Plus, wines from the Mediterranean start at just $8.99. Taste the Mediterranean now at Whole Foods Market. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
Today on CityCast Boise, in the spirit of Women's History Month, we're resharing a chat with local business owner Kylie North, owner of the Water Bear Bar. A while back, she came on the show with our Hey Boise newsletter editor Blake Hunter to talk about building her bar into one of the city's new favorite watering holes. It's Tuesday, March 5th. I'm Frankie Barnhill, and this is what Boise's talking about.
Welcome to CityCast Boise. Kylie, how are you doing today?
Hi, Blake. I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you on. I've been plugging Water Bear, your bar, Water Bear Bar, to friends for years for a lot of reasons that we'll get into. But I was really excited recently to see that your bar was a beneficiary of the Human Rights Campaign's Queer to Stay initiative. And so that's been going on for 4 years and basically awards small businesses around the country that uplift their local LGBTQIA plus communities. So first off, congratulations. And second off, what has this recognition meant for you?
Thank you so much for supporting our business through sharing it with friends and helping spread our story. That's really so much of how we got here to this recognition from the HRC and Showtime. This Queer to Stay designation, it means so much to us as far as our work goes and being seen.
If you scroll through all of the businesses that have been awarded this like throughout the country over the past few years, I'm like, it's so cool that Boise has a name in this.
We're grateful beyond words for what that really means to us right now. We opened our bar. You may know this, Blake, but we opened our bar in 2019. And so that was right before the pandemic and right before the world changed in so many ways. And so we have worked with the community in Boise, trying to uplift certain groups and nonprofits that have aligned with our vision of what a more accessible and expansive community looks like. And this designation, Queer to Stay, speaks to that. You know, whenever we were reading the letter, whenever they said, hey, you've got this, we were like, oh my gosh. They were like, we see that you've had to work hard. We see that you've had to fight to create this community and to sustain it. And we want to help you continue doing that for the marginalized groups that are in your community that you're able to uplift, the queer community, women, trans people. It's just really whenever we start kind of going back to our roots on when we built this bar and we're, you know, creating this brand, we're doing a lot of writing and like defining for ourselves what that means to create an accessible bar.
As a queer Boisean, I mean, I actually moved to Boise in 2018 from like, you know, small rural like southern Idaho. Like Water Bear was a really important place, has been a really important place to me in Boise because it's not as clubby as some other kind of queer oriented businesses or bars. I always go back and forth of describing it as a place that feels entirely outside of Boise or a place that feels extremely Boise. Do you know what I mean by that? Like it feels like all of the best parts of Boise, and also it feels like when you walk in, it could kind of be anywhere. Like it should be in a different city, you know, which I feel like is the magic of it. What's it like to be owning like such a queer focused and accessible business right now in Boise?
There's a lot there. And I first want to just kind of touch on what kind of drives us behind this. Our LLC, Laura and I, my wife, we own this bar together. We met as bartenders and created this dream that we are waking up every day pinching ourselves like, do we really get to go and work in our bar that we got to design? And we named our business Little Saturday. We didn't want to have this pretense of what someone's idea of going out and having something nice, or what somebody's idea of a queer safe space is, or what somebody's idea of what a bar owner or a bartender is supposed to look like. We really found a lot of power and energy in flipping the script. It's like
Yeah.
we say Little Saturday because why not go out on a Wednesday night? Like, who says you can only have fun on Friday and Saturday? Who says that it's only good and nice if you're dressed up? And it's like that's part of the interest that we really wanted to bring to the bar, was that you could be anywhere at this moment. If you can't get on a plane and take yourself somewhere,
Right.
maybe try Water Bear.
Yeah.
Come down and create a spot, meet somebody new. And we really wanted to facilitate that environment. And so whenever it comes down to even how we design the space, like, we're always thinking about how people would interact in it.
Yes.
But, as you were saying, the best parts of Boise, we came here our first time ever to visit Boise, rolled in. I think it was probably after 11 p.m. because we had a hard time driving from Jackson Hole. Winter storm coming in. Well, it turns out the day we rolled in is what Boise has famously called Snowpocalypse of 2017.
No way.
So that was our first day ever coming to Boise. The next day, the Snowpocalypse is happening. We're skiing at Bogus Basin. We're ski bums for life, really into the mountain alpine experience. This was a blowing pow day. It was awesome. We were like, yeah, they're letting the lifts run. Well, then they shut down the lifts because it actually was a really intense storm. So we rolled downtown, went to the Modern Hotel. It was popping. Michael Bowers is behind the bar. We look at each other and we're like, oh my God, we could live here. And it was like one of those strange love at first sight things, especially for a ski bum coming into a town that you felt the community. But it's hard to stay in a mountain town. And whenever we came here to Boise, and immediately, even on that first day at Bogus, one of the snow operations directors was walking to the parking lot and he was like, hey, I'm sorry this worked out this way. And we were like, oh no, we had a great time. And he was like, well, I want to make sure that you come back. And so he gave us a reimbursement for our tickets. It was like the most kind and hospitable love. And so we fell in love with Boise right then. And that sense of community, all of those connections to the mountain being right by the city, right built in the city of trees, all the greenery, the sense of calm that you can find in Boise by getting down to the Greenbelt. We really wanted to just partner with all of those aspects whenever we were designing our space.
Yeah.
Being queer owners in Boise has not been the easiest. I'm not going to say that it's been easy, but the good is a tsunami outweighing any of the bad, any of the negative.
Shipping can make or break a sale, so optimize how you ship your orders with ShipStation. They make it easy to automate and manage orders no matter how big your business grows. And they might even be able to help reduce shipping and warehouse costs. So optimize and keep up your momentum for growth with ShipStation. Sign up for your free 60-day trial now at ShipStation.com and use the code POD. That's ShipStation.com with the code POD.
I'm a bit of a homebody, but like sometimes you just got to leave the house but it is difficult. I mean, depending on how I dress, etc. But like it can be really difficult knowing where to go just because the options are limited. And so I think that like there are truly two places in town where I feel comfortable, like on any weeknight or even a weekend, just being like, okay, I know that if I go somewhere, take my partner, take my boyfriend, like I know that if something goes down, like the staff there is going to have my back. And like Water Bear is truly one of those places. And that's why I always recommend people to you. And it's just a beautiful space. And also one thing that I don't know if this is commending you and Laura personally on this, but it's truly incredible. I have watched staff at Water Bear, like come up to a table of 8 people and remember everyone's drinks the first time that they say them. It is actually incredible, which I think also shows a level of commitment and investment that you have put into your workers so that they feel comfortable that they can do that.
Well, that is a high compliment to the team, and they put in so much work and are carrying, this pride because they have this energy with us. They want this nice thing in Boise. They want to be part of giving this and providing for the community. And so
Yeah.
it's really incredible to have them invest so much into their training and their efforts to bring everybody a good night.
It's so skillful. But I know that we'll have people, I've had so many people ask me about the water bear. Can you tell us about the idea behind the water bear, the tardigrade? Like, how does that apply to your business? And just what is it even?
I love talking about water bears. They're tardigrades. If we get down to what they are, that's a microscopic animal. They eat algae. I've learned since opening this bar that they're used in scientific processes, like at the Boise water treatment facility. There's many scientists down there working with water bears, helping us keep Boise's water clean. I learned this because the first week we opened, there were maybe 12 Boise water scientists standing outside our door ready for us to open. And I was like so excited to see the biologist here.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, because as this animal has gained some popularity in the world, it's because they are incredibly hard to kill. They kind of are, as we like to put it, radically accessible to thriving. They can exist and kind of slow down, maybe even hibernate. I think that there's maybe been a quantum entanglement of a water bear and they've been able to put one of them back together. Like, I don't even fully understand what's going on, but water bears are incredible. And there's this motto that we found around the culture of the water bear: live tiny, die never. And when Laura and I are, we're creating this idea and doing so much just like big thought work, trying to really define and create the parameters of what our bar would be. So we could still be bartenders guiding the vision. We didn't want to be owners outside of that creative work, if you know what I'm saying. And so
Totally.
we were always like, well, I guess, and this is so funny in hindsight, I guess if something really bad happens in the world where it takes the bar down to nothing, let's build it where if it needs to be just the two of us, we can do it. And we were like, oh my gosh, like live tiny, die never.
And you said that in February of 2019, and little did you know.
Oh my God, we said that in 2017 or 18. I can't believe it. So we just kind of started laughing, and it was a working title for a long time because the water bear embodied so many of those radical, accessible qualities that we wanted to build into our bar. And whenever we say accessibility to thrive, we wanted to create a bar that had such a wide net for the people that would be interested in coming in and seeing the value in it and having it be a nice time. And so, we also were kind of laughing, going back to our mountain aesthetic, our ski bum vibes. We've been bartenders forever. We love tropical drinks. Tiki culture around bartending has always been really alluring. The more bigger and complex flavors that you can build is always more exciting than a lemon drop to a bartender, what I'm saying?
That makes sense, yeah.
So we were developing this brand kind of around our mountain tropical experience and our desires for the drinks that we're into. And so Water Bear started to really fit into that also. It's like you didn't have to know, you didn't have to be on the inside. It just kind of happened. And the day we were going to go in and meet the landlords and pitch our idea and say, please, can we have this space? We stood outside the building and just looked at each other and go, oh my God, are we just going to go in and say Water Bear?
Yeah.
Are we going to say Water Bear? And at that moment we decided yes, because no one can ever take that casual accessibility. They can never take that approachability away from us if they're saying, hey, meet me at Water Bear. you kind of got to break it down just a little bit.
Oh, I love that. That's so true. Yeah.
And we were like, okay, well, we're going to go in and ask for this space and we're going to call it Water Bear. And it's going to be this big story. And I've just been so grateful to, make it come into life with Laura. It's just been truly the work of our lifetime.
Yeah, I love telling people Water Bear. I love that that's part of the background thinking, because whenever I say Water Bear to someone, they're like, what? What are you talking about? So I like that that's kind of the idea, is that you have to like hesitate and like almost disarm yourself.
Absolutely. And, whenever you come in, we do believe that we are classic bartenders. We're classically trained. But, in the old adage, they're saying you've got to learn the rules to break the rules.
Right.
That's kind of our mindset. It's like there's a lot of real experimental flavor combinations and drinks presentations that, maybe require a little bit of that disarmament and just kind of like, I don't know. The first day you come in, is it old-fashioned of the day with rum in it? Is that really an old-fashioned? And by your third visit, you're ordering it without even question.
One thing that I wanted to ask you about that I feel like Water Bear is very intentional with is non-alcoholic drinks, which you talk about accessibility being very important at your bar. Non-alcoholic drinks are having a moment, they're having a bit of a trend, but also it's not just a trend. Like a lot of people need that kind of like third space to be in that allows them to not have to drink any alcohol. Can you talk about why that's been a focus for Water Bear recently, and what kind of non-alcoholic drinks that people can expect at your bar?
We love our low proof and no proof training and program that we can offer at Water Bear. And saying no proof, being non-alcoholic in a cocktail, that's something that I started to first notice as a bartender working, I think it was 2015 when I put my first non-alcoholic drink on a menu. And I had to get into a little bit of a heated argument. I was like, no, people don't want to get drunk. They want to stay at the party.
Yeah.
And I had to really go up against kind of a formidable leader in the bar industry. It was at our bar meeting, and I was like, absolutely not. I really want to argue and say we've got to do this. And so they begrudgingly said, fine, but you've got to allow for a shot of alcohol. And, it was really empowering to look back at the product mix later and to find out that people weren't ordering the shot of alcohol with it.
So validating.
So validating. I have intentionally tried to look for those experiences in other bars, and I've just seen them multiplying. We use the term alcohol credit. Laura and I do. You just, in this industry, you can't take in all the alcohol. You can only process and, stay fresh and sober with so many tastes, right? We always train our staff with taste it, swish and spit. Maybe not every time needs to go down in. Be aware of what alcohol over time can be doing that is potentially negative. That's just been a conversation that is not new. It is, I think, been advanced, especially by women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
It's just been something that when we're talking about accessibility and we have this great space, I don't want our space, our bar, to be that spot that's boring if you don't have a drink. And that's where we're like, well, why can't we engage these flavors? Why can't we engage these interesting textures? I have so many friends that, especially when they became mothers, for one reason or another, they say, oh, I can't drink anymore. And it's like, great, meet me at Water Bear.
Totally, yeah.
How wonderful. You can have tasty and sophisticated cocktail to sip on, a little bit of fun food, and then that nice environment that really feels inclusive.
Kylie, thank you so much for coming on the CityCast Boise. I feel so lucky to be able to just talk to you as one of my favorite places in Boise. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for making Water Bear so special.
Well, Blake, thank you. And we built it for you. We built it for you, Boise. So thank you so much for supporting us, and we'll see you guys down there for a drink.
Hey, thanks for listening to CityCast Boise. Do you have a favorite woman-owned bar that you want to shout out? Write into our Hey Boise newsletter. We're looking for more ideas. You can email boise@citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more local stories from around the city. See you then.